Welcome back friends. So today we are going to learn about BTD. BTD is nothing but bearing temperature detector. So normally in a rotating machines we have BTD and RTDs. So RTDs are used for winding temperature detection with resistive temperature detector they are called, and for bearings those are called as bearing temperature detectors. So in this topic we are going to cover up bearing temperature detectors. So on screen you can see this is the motor and this is the bearing cup. Inside this cup bearing is housed, and to know the temperature of the bearing there is a probe which is connected and it is called as BTD, bearing temperature detector. So this BTD is connected with the help of wire, and as you can see on screen these are the wires which goes to the metering panel uh, and or your tripping circuit. So the temperature which is detected on the probe is taken to the BTD box, and this box all the wires are connected, and from this box all wires are connected to your metering circuit. So normally uh, there are many kind of BTDs, 3 wire, 6 wire. So and every rotating machine have two bearings and accordingly have two BTDs, one at drive hand side and the other at non-drive hand side. So now let's see the non-drive hand side BTD. So as per the wiring we just traced out the wire, and the BTD is mounted on the non-drive hand side below the cooling fan. So you can see this is the fan, and behind that is the bearing and bearing housing. So this is the bearing housing. So your BTD is mounted on the bearing housing with the help of probes. So when the bearing is placed on the housing, all the temperature generated by the bearing is transferred to the housing, and from housing it is transferred to the BTD. So this on your screen you can see a bearing housing, or some people say it is end shield. Now let's see how bearing is fitted on it. So this is just for your example. This is your housing and this is your bearing. So when the bearing rotates, it will generate some temperature. This temperature or heat will be then transferred to the end shield, and from end shield it will transfer to your BTD. So let's remove the BTD and see how it is placed. So this is a bolt type BTD, means the probe is designed like a bolt. Here you can see this is the probe. So this probe goes inside the bearing housing and it is connected over there. So whatever temperature is generated by bearing will be transferred to the end shield or the bearing housing, and from there it will be sensed by the BTD and transferred to your metering circuit. So this is how the probe is assembled. Please know that this is not the only way of fixing BTDs. There are many other methods by which BTDs are fixed on the bearing housing or the end shields. Every manufacturer has different methods of fixing bearing housings, and there are many types of probes also. So some are of 6 leads, some are of 3 leads. So depending on the designer and the application, the probe design may change. So friends, now we are going to see what is bearing temperature detector. So this is a normal ball bearing. As you can see, this is a normal ball bearing, and here are all the details of the bearings. Okay, and this are the balls. So these are the balls. Here you can see there are many balls. So these are the balls, and this is inner race, this is outer race. So this is inner race and this is outer race. So basically here your shaft will fit, and on the outer side your end cover will fit. End cover of any motor or generator will fit over here, and the rotor will fit over here. So basically what happens when the bearing is placed on the shaft and the cover, this part rotates. Here you can see this is the rotation. So when this part rotates, the balls also rotate with the inner race. So then due to the rotation and the friction effect, some temperature is generated over this race and inside race also. So so basically let's consider that we must have some. So let's consider that we must know what is the temperature of the bearing. So either we have to put a probe on the surface of this, on the surface of the outer race, over here, or surface of the inner race. So the most identical or the most easiest method of testing or knowing the temperature of any bearing is putting your probe over here. So putting your probe of your BTD, bearing temperature detector, above the upper race will let us know what is the bearing temperature. So now let's see how a BTD looks. So this is a model of bearing temperature detector. So this is our probe. You see. So this is our probe, and this probe is designed in a shape of a bolt. So basically this is done because the end shield above which this probe will fit will be having a threading, and then this will fix like a bolt, and this will keep the probe intact. So let's move on. So these are the wires of the BTD. Okay, so these wires will be connected to your metering circuit, where you will have a meter or an indicator, alarm switch or a trip switch. So these three wires will be connected to your metering circuit, and this is the probe which will be connected or installed above your bearing. So let's see. So suppose this is your bearing and this is your probe. So the fitment will be such way that the probe, your BTD, will be in contact with the upper race of the bearing. So here you can see this will be fitted this way. So there will be some arrangement made on the end shield to fix this probe on the upper race of the bearing. Most of the probes are fixed on the upper race. In some cases the probes are fixed the sideways. So it will be fixed either on the upper race or the lower race, but it will be touching the bearing at some point, so that we can know what is the temperature of the bearing. So you can fix it this way also on the outer race, you can fix it this way also in the inner race, or you can fix it on the top race also this way. So depending on the model of your rotating machine, your BTD is fixed. So this is a working principle and the fixing pattern of your BTD. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.